Shams Charania on ESPN. There's no story posted on the website yet, but he says Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent might put Giannis in play this year to be traded. What do you know?
I think this is everything is inching this direction. Look, he took all the Buck stuff off his Instagram page, right? He took all that done. And I think this is him saying what Shams is really reporting is that the resolution to these talks is expected in the coming weeks ahead of the February 5th trade deadline. So whether he actually moves before then, we'll see. But the fact that they're kind of pushing for this, that this is escalating because the Buck season has kind of gone off the rails, that I think is a pretty big development. Because, the question we've all had is will he ask for a trade? I think, or is it a soft ask? Is it is it a hard ask? Is it I want to be moved now? Will the Bucks do anything if he doesn't push for that? We're getting more and more of our answer here, which is if you're going to make an offer for Giannis, you better do it now.
Right. This is, I was going to say, this is kind of like a bat signal to all teams that he is in play. I know we're all speculating here, but where are likely destinations for Giannis? Like who calls and who's the most aggressive suitor?
Well, first of all, every team in the league except for probably Oklahoma should call, okay? Because the Thunder already have a championship team.
Right.
I think a lot of teams are going to call. If you don't call, there's something wrong with you. Even if you don't have a good, John, I'm going to say this. I don't know if this can happen during the year. I really thought the Lakers were in play for him at some point. I don't know how they would do that during the year. Right? Does that make sense?
No. Explain what you mean.
Well, it's going to take a lot to get him, right?
Right.
Like they're not going to trade a guy this good in the middle of the year without a significant return. We're talking 4 or 5 first-round picks, good young player.
Yeah, but the Lakers don't have 4 or 5 first-round picks.
That's the problem. And
so who does?
Atlanta does. I think Orlando does. The Knicks don't have 4 or 5, but they could get them. I mean, teams like any team you think of, they could get. Miami could get more picks. Golden State could get more picks. A lot of there's a lot of teams that are pick poor, right? Obviously, the Clippers can't really get a lot of picks. Denver can't really get a lot of picks. Teams that have kind of gone all in already, but you can get picks by trading players to get picks.
Right.
The Knicks don't have as many as they used to because they used a lot of theirs, but they could trade good players that are existing on their roster to get first-round picks. So this is an interesting timing to this. I had been of the opinion that he was going to move after the season just because.
Do you still think that?
No, maybe not. Maybe not. My answer is probably never not.
The trade deadline is first week in February, right?
Yeah, because just think about everybody wants a player like Giannis, but in the middle of a year when your team is playing well, if you're a contender, he's going to want to play for a contender. So you're going to have to just completely disrupt whatever you have going. Right now, you're kind of you're going to gut your team this year. Might be worth it. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. I mean, look.
Here's the team that scares me. I think the Spurs could put together a package that could very easily land them Giannis this season, and they would still be a championship contender.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm talking about. I think they have some picks. They have young players, like you were talking about. Mm-hmm. They have good players. The best player on their team is Wemby.
Yeah.
They also have De'Aaron Fox. They also have Dylan Harper. They also have Stephon Castle. I don't necessarily think they need them both. So take whichever one I think they feel better about Castle. So keep Castle. Put Dylan Harper in the deal, second pick in the draft last year. Pair him up with like Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson, and 3 or 4 first-round picks. Isn't that a good trade for both teams?
I mean, I think teams like that are exactly who you should look at. Good team. I mean, Atlanta has some good young players, right? Orlando has good young players and picks. There's just a lot of teams that are in better position to do something right now than the Lakers or Knicks or Warriors or all the the heavyweights that you would think of, Miami, right? But yeah, I think your point about the Spurs is really well taken because if you're Giannis, you want to play for a team that's gonna have a chance to win, and like Pick your co-star. Who do you think you fit best with? Pick your co-star. If I'm Giannis, I want to play with Luka.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that. So let's say Giannis did what Anthony Davis did 7-8 years ago and say, I want to be traded and I only want to go to the Lakers. In essence, he forces himself here. The Lakers would probably have to get other teams involved to make that happen, right?
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, look, the Austin Reaves of it all is very interesting because if I'm Milwaukee, I demand him. I wouldn't do the trade without him. Do you want to do that? Right? I mean,
right.
That's a tough one, but that's who they would ask for because you're not going to get Luka, so you got to get the next best guy, and that's Austin. But if you can get to free agency where the Lakers are going to have cap space in a year,
okay.
So now let me frame this.
Right
now, this is the big question: will there be a team that thinks they might be a Giannis away that he won't extend with, that he doesn't want to be on? Will there be a team that will do like what Toronto did, that would take a chance on him not extending?
You're talking about when Toronto did with Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi, yeah.
Yeah.
Will there be a team out there that thinks they can, that is willing to take a chance on trading the farm for him now in the hopes that 2 years of him will be worth it?
Think about that front line in San Antonio if they pull this off.
Oh.
They would have Wemby and Giannis and like Harrison Barnes, whoever else they want to put in that third spot. And I don't know how you score on that team then. You know, the thing that I keep trying to stress to people, Ramona, and you know this because you've seen it and I've seen it, is any trade any team makes, the calculus is, does this help me take down Oklahoma City? Yeah. Oklahoma City is an absolute, to use Star Wars terms, they're the Death Star.
Yeah.
All right. They are so good and so loaded, and their future is set up. They have 11 first-round picks in the next 5 years, 25 second-round
3 lottery picks this year.
Right. Right now, if the season ended today, they would have 6, 9, and 24.
Yeah.
That's why I think the Spurs might do it.
Yeah.
Because as they're currently constituted, they can't be. I don't think any team currently constituted can take down OKC. Do you?
I do, because I just have been around the NBA. Like, it's okay if Oklahoma City's totally healthy and everyone's great.
Yeah.
I think they win again. But things happen. People get hurt. Things go wrong. You know, Chet Holmgren's kind of injury prone. Shea is remarkably durable. I'm going to knock on wood. But like, I thought Indiana was going to win that series if Halliburton didn't get hurt last year. I thought Denver was going to win this series if Aaron Gordon didn't get hurt.
Took them 7 games.
Yeah. I mean, now they're better. They're better this year. So that was the year to get them last year. That was your chance. But I don't know. We haven't had a repeat champion in 9 years. There's a reason why. It's hard.
Yeah. So, that's a fair point.
And I would say this, like, I think, in the past they only talked to the Knicks, like the Bucks only talked to the Knicks, and I think that was more of an exploratory conversation. But I think they'll talk to more teams now, because you just can't. I don't think Giannis would limit them to one team. I think there'll be 3 or 4 or 5 teams that he would be okay with. But the question is, the teams that are on his list, can they even get there? Like, to me, if I'm the Rockets, I'm looking at it.
Oh, of course.
That's another scary team.
I think what you said at the top is 100% right. I think every team except the Thunder would try and trade for him.
And honestly, the Thunder should call, but I don't think they will, but they should. Because he's Giannis. He's still that good.
Right, but the reason the Thunder work is that all those guys are young, and a few of them are still on rookie
deals. And they have a million picks.
Yeah. So what you're going to see, and by the way, this is fascinating that this story broke. If you're just joining us, ESPN reporting Giannis and his agent, Ramona, would I be fair to say are soft asking for a trade?
Yeah, I think that's the right way to put it. I mean, I think this has been a soft ask since the summer, by the way. I think it's been going on a while like this. But there's a difference between when he deleted all the stuff off his Instagram, that's a little more.
By the way, Emily's here, Brian's here. Emily, isn't deleting everything off your Instagram the new way of asking for a trade?
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult thing to do. You have to either save these things. You have to consciously think about this.
That's right.
And you're sending a message without sending a message. The people who
100%.
Know what you're trying to say, know you're saying it.
Yeah, and it wasn't subtle. That was not a subtle move by him. I just think, if you're Giannis, first of all, I think he waited too long. I think he should have done it over the summer. And I think he was just trying to give them I don't think he wants to do this. I think he wanted to stay in Milwaukee, but they just couldn't make it. They haven't been able to make it work, right? But the easier way to get to the trade with the Knicks could have happened before they signed Mikal Bridges to that big contract.
Right.
Now it's just way more complicated.
It is a fascinating story. And by the way, I don't think he's the only big name that's going to move.
Yeah, I don't
I think
either.
a lot of big names are going to move this summer or this season
year.
at the trade deadline.